What's up, guys, and welcome back to the Red Revolution with me, Calvin. I hope you're all doing well. And it's finally here. The Premier League is back, and here are my Premier League predictions. Now, I'm doing this after the Arsenal v Leicester game, which was a thrilling 4-3. I'm just speechless of what I saw, what we all saw. If you watched, it was absolutely a fantastic match. 4-3. Unlucky for Leicester not winning it, but here are my predictions. I hope you enjoy this video. Let's do this. So we're going to start off. It was the bottom part of the table of my predictions. I'm going to go for Brighton and Huddersfield and Burnley to be relegated. I just feel like losing Michael Keane and Burnley's side is a big blow for them. I think they're really going to struggle this season. They've only brought in likes of Jonathan Walters, etc. Not doing that great in the Premier League. He's more of a Championship player in my eyes. Huddersfield, it's great to see them up in Brighton. I just feel they're both going to struggle as well. They've not really built their team. I know they brought Tom Ince in Huddersfield, but I just don't feel their teams are strong enough to compete. They might get one or two shock results against the bigger teams. Hopefully not Liverpool. But it's going to be interesting, Liverpool against Huddersfield, because the manager of Huddersfield is really good friends with Jurgen Klopp. But I do think the bottom three will be Brighton, Huddersfield and Burnley at the end of this season. I'm going for Watford in 17th. They finished 17th last season. They got Marco Silva as a manager, who was a Hull manager, who unfortunately didn't keep them up. They moved to Watford. They made some alright signings. I presume Andre Gray is moving there from Burnley. I don't know if it's completed yet. I expect them to do okay, but I expect them to stay up. I can't see them being relegated, so I expect them to stay up. Swansea expected to lose Sigurdsson, but Abraham, I keep calling him Abraham, should be a very good player for them. Played well in pre-season, played well with Bristol City, but they could finish higher when I think about it, but I just think they could struggle a bit, but I expect near enough mid-table for them. But I expect them to survive. I can't see them being relegated either. Next up, we've got Newcastle. Newcastle are finally back in the Premier League. They want to make an impression now they're back in it. They made some alright decent signings. Got some good players from last season. St James's Park will be rocking for this, especially the first game of the season on Sunday against Spurs. Expect a good game. A tough game for Spurs. I'm going to go for 15th. I think that's good enough for them at this season. They can work on it the season after, but I definitely expect them to stay up and mid-table for them. Stoke, they need to work on their attack a bit more, get somebody in, because it just doesn't look as good. But defence looks strong with Zuma in there, so that looks good for them. Crystal Palace got this new manager. I think he's from Ajax. I think he won 2 Dutch titles, I think. I expect them to do alright, They got Huddersfield first game. I expect them to kind of win that game. They got Zaha, Benteke, Townsend. Got some very good players. Kabaye. Defence looks alright. The formation, the tactics he's playing in pre-season look good. This new manager. So I expect them to do good. Bournemouth. I can't remember. Did they finish 10th last season? They probably did. I put them 12th. They brought in likes of Defoe, Aki, Begovic. I expect them to do good. Not too good, but I expect to surprise a few teams. I expect them to stay up. So, yeah. And next up, we got West Brom. Now, West Brom I put 11th. And the reason for that is we know they got Jade Rodriguez, very good player. They're playing in more of an attacking position, I've seen pre-season. And I expect him to do very well. They got Phillips, they got Chadley, they got Rondon, they got a good midfield. They got Livermore, is quite good. Alright defence. Brought another centre back in, I heard. Foster's a good goalkeeper. I expect them to do good. So I expect them to get quite high up, but be in the bottom part of the table, mid-table for them. But I do expect them to play well this season. Next up, the last one at the bottom half of the table. Well, it's come to the top half now because this is the 10th is like on the top half of the table. So we're going for Southampton. Now Southampton, you got Redmond, Austin, Tadic, Gabbiadini, Forster. You got Van Dijk is not going to play any part in the game against Swansea. Being linked to Liverpool, of course, he doesn't want to play with them anymore and had a transfer request in, blah blah blah. I expect them to struggle. They lose him. They're definitely going to lose him, and I expect them to struggle without him in defence. I really do. Their attack is good. They got, don't get me wrong, Redmond and all that, but Ward-Prowse, but I just expect them not to do as good this season, but to be in the top half, as I got them there in 10th place. But yeah, that's my bottom half of the table predictions. We're going to go on to the top half in a minute, but it was hard to pick the bottom half. The top half, I'm going to show you now. It's going to be it might be controversial, I don't know, but I'll let you guys see it right now. Okay, into the top half of the table, we've already done Southampton. Now on to 9th place, and that is Everton. Now, watching them in the Europa League, I mean, they just beat a Slovakian team 1-0. They had a decent team, and this is the team they're going to play in the Premier League, like the likes of Rooney and all that. I know they're settling in and all that, but I would be very worried, as I said in the last video, to be an Everton fan. I'm glad I'm not. I just think they're going to struggle. I think Stoke could get a result tomorrow against them. They play like that like they do against the Slovakian team. So I'll put them in 9th. In 8th, you know, as I said, Leicester played fantastic tonight. Unfortunately, you know, should have won it, but they messed up near the end, didn't they? But I expect big things from the likes of Jamie Vardy to be on fire this season, like it was in that title-winning season for them. He's back with a bang. It's Jamie Vardy party. But I expect an 8th place finish for them. I was very impressed with them tonight. Very impressed with them. If Mahrez stays, it'd be a fantastic boost for them now. It'd be fantastic. That's all. I'm going to go for 8th place finish for Leicester. 7th place goes to West Ham. Reason for this, you know, they brought in Hernandez, former Man United player, going to play against his old club. Hopefully he'll score and help them beat United, obviously, on Sunday. They brought in Joe Hart on loan, Zabaleta, former City player, top player for City, and also Nautovic, Stoke player, class player. So I expect them, you know, this is fantastic. They brought some very good players, and I expect them to play very, very well this season. So I'm going to go for 7th place finish for West Ham. Next up, and I know this might sound because I'm a Liverpool fan, but I honestly think it's very hard to predict the top 6. It really is. So I'm going to go for Man United in 6th place. I know they brought in Lukaku. I expect him to do alright, you know, play well. I'm being honest. It's very hard of what I've seen so far, like from Arsenal winning. So I think United to finish 6th. Arsenal to finish 5th. Now Arsenal, this was hard as well. They could sneak into the top 4. Who knows? You know, Arsenal to jump over Spurs. Who knows? I don't know. But I've said Arsenal 5th, and the reason for that is, you know, what I've seen tonight is fantastic. Their attack is fantastic, but the defence is shit. What I'm looking at, it looks like they had a 3-man defence. Holding, I know he's a young lad. He's got a lot to learn, experience. I expect him to be a very good player in the next 2 years, shall we say? But he's got a lot to learn. There's a lot of pressure for a young kid of his age, young lad. You know, they need to work on their defence. Their attack is fantastic. I expect, like I said, to be fantastic this season. But I think 5th or 4th for Arsenal. They could go over at Spurs. Who knows? Next up, we've got Spurs, and I've got them in 4th. And the reason for that is, I think it's going to damage them a bit. You know, playing at Wembley, losing Walker as well, right back, and Trippier is expected to be injured as well for the first few games. But they've still got Ali, Eriksen, Kane. I know you depend on them. Hugo Lloris is good players as well. They've got some very good players. Alderweireld, Wanyama, Dembele. So many good players. So I expect them to be in the top 4. Maybe Arsenal to jump out. I don't know. But I'll put them 4th, Spurs. Next up, we've got Chelsea. Chelsea not playing Diego Costa anymore. He's going to Atletico Madrid, looks like. Morata, I think it's going to be a flop from this season. But I expect them to still be a very good team. Can't see them win the league again. So I'll put them 3rd. Liverpool, I could have said 3rd or 2nd, but I'll put them 2nd, Liverpool, because I think with Salah and all that, whatever happens to Coutinho, I don't give a shit about that. But I think we'll be 2nd or 3rd, hopefully top 3. So I'll put us there. And finally, before I lose my breath, going really fast here. First, I put Manchester City, obvious choice. Hope they don't win the league, but with the signings they've made, who knows? I think they've got the team. They've got the team. Aguero, Jesus, De Bruyne, Sane, you name it, and it's so many good players. And I think that they're going to win the league. I think they are. I hope not, but I think they are. So that's my Premier League table predictions for this season. Hope you enjoyed this video. Subscribe. Thank you so much. Bye bye.